According to the World Nuclear Association, nuclear power facilities produce 91% efficiency rate for energy at a 24-hour day period. That's a lot. That's like going to the gym and doing 100% workout and not producing any sweat. So that's kind of impressive. I'm going to talk to you guys about what nuclear energy is, how it works, and some advantages and disadvantages of its use. I personally knew very little about how it worked, and I thought you guys should know since it is becoming a very debatable topic in today's society. And without knowledge about how it works, we can't truly know how we feel about it. So I'm going to touch on three aspects of nuclear power. I'm going to talk about how nuclear energy is created, the process of how it's used, and advantages and disadvantages of its use. So let's talk about nuclear energy. According to the American Heritage Dictionary, nuclear energy is energy released by nuclear reaction by fission, fusion, or radioactive decay. Fission is the splitting of atoms, while fusion is the joining of atoms. Nuclear reactors use two kinds of uranium and other elements, such as strontium, plutonium, and caesium for fuel. And all these elements have half-lives, which I'm sure you guys learned about in chemistry at some point. They have half-lives varying from 28 to 15.7 million years. So that is a long time. And a half-life, is the time it takes for half of the nuclei of an element to undergo radioactive decay. So now that you guys have an idea of how nuclear energy works, let's talk about how nuclear energy is created. Let's talk about how nuclear power itself works. Nuclear reactors produce electricity in a very similar way as power plants do, just the energy that is used to create heat is different. According to the Emerson Nuclear Energy Corps, power plants normally use fossil fuels, while nuclear plants use nuclear energy. There's three basic steps on how nuclear energy is created. The first nuclear reactor creates the heat, which is used by nuclear energy, that makes the steam. The steam then turns a turbine connected to a generator, and the generator then produces the electricity to businesses, homes, and other facilities. So now that you guys have an idea of how nuclear power works, let's talk about some advantages and disadvantages of its use. There are several advantages to its use. One, according to the World Nuclear Conference, nuclear power plants do not require a lot of space compared to land phosphor windmills. Also, nuclear power does not emit carbon dioxide emissions, so it's very safe for the world. Doesn't damage the greenhouse effect. It's the most concentrated form of energy. There's no comparable energy like it that we can utilize it fully to its full potential. And nuclear power is reliable, doesn't depend on like weather, or you don't depend on the earth for its use, and we control the outputs if there are any. Some disadvantages. Disposal of nuclear waste is expensive since it's radioactive. Decommissioning of power stations is also expensive because it takes a very long time to get rid of them. And nuclear accidents can spread radiation particles, which are harmful to the cell's body. They can lead to cancer and birth defects. So let's review what we learned about nuclear energy. First, nuclear energy is created by the fission or fusion of atoms, specifically uranium. Second, nuclear power is created in a similar way as power plants, just the heat that's used is different. And third, we talked about some advantages and disadvantages of why it is cool. So to close, I just want to leave you guys with that since nuclear energy is a very developing stage in our society, it's important that we should understand how it works and know about it so we can decide if we want to use it in the future.